Hey, hey, hey. How are you all? Just gonna wait a few minutes and see if we get some folks on. Now, this is the time that I am typically going to sleep. So, hopefully I don't sound like an idiot. Just one sec. Just gonna wait for some people to join. Let me grab my notes. This is my new theme song. It's by Hunger Games. It's in the Hunger Games. Lord. Turning back. It's just so powerful. Even while you sleep. Acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. I love it. Some folks might be like me. They might be going to sleep at 8 o'clock, putting the kids to sleep. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to turn this down because I don't own the rights to this song, and I don't need anyone getting all sideways with me from Facebook. Okay. Just wanted to share a little bit of that. If you haven't heard that song, it's freaking awesome. So awesome. So I want to uncover the facts, and I want you all to join in this combo with me. If you join live, I should put this in the notes. If I had my iPad. Oh, I wonder if I could do it with my computer. If you're joining live, give me a smile or a wink or something. If you're joining me on the replay, then give me a sad face. Hey, Penny. You know all about this, what I want to talk about. And I will say I've been up since very early, and sometimes the words that come out of my mouth at night, I just don't make sense. I'm a little delirious, I must say. So, but I was just on this long drive, and I was going through these mountains, and I was thinking, oh, if I could just get to this part of the drive where you're almost on top of the world here, and the sky was pink, and in between with the white clouds, and then the blue sky, that glow from the sun going down was so gorgeous. And I was like, oh, if I could get to this one part that's just like, I'm gonna do my live while I'm in the car, I don't know. But it was dark too dark by the time I got there. So I was like, shoot, I'll just get home, I'll do it. The people in my house will just get a deal with it. And I get here and I don't think there's anyone here. I don't know where they are, and I'm not even going to check in on them because I get to do this without them, and he could come in during it, so oh well. But it's nothing that I haven't talked to him about. In fact, he's the one that shared a lot of deep information like this with me in the beginning. So this is Passionate Tina. If some of you haven't met her, she is the side of me that I'm passionate about helping others. I'm passionate about sharing knowledge. I'm passionate about sharing, whether it's beauty, whether it's knowledge about something, a business. Maybe it's real estate. What if it's about cars? Well, I mean, it could be anything that I used to be a banker. So I know a lot about banking, and it could be about whatever, the economy, okay? So one thing about the economy, we may have to go back on that. because I just read something yesterday. It was very interesting. So that's who Passionate Tina is. I kind of get a little louder. I'm more expressive. And people probably think I'm weird or crazy. And I am. No, I'm not. It's just my passion. And in life, I truly believe that you got to have passion. Live with passion. I don't care what it is. Find a passion and go into it with passion. And you'll be successful, whatever it is. And if you're not passionate about something, see, I was a banker for 21 years. And I lost my passion in it. In the beginning, I was just so, like I was getting paid. When I got into banking as a teller, I made I left as a merchandiser. I used to work for Kmart, and I left as a merchandiser making $3.35 an hour. Is that just crazy? No, maybe I was making more than that. Maybe it was, I started at 3 and I ended at like 6 something. Then when I went to the banking, and I'm going to tell you why I went to banking. I went to banking because my daughter was in 2nd grade, and my mom said to me, I can't watch Chelsea anymore. You're going to have to find a daycare. Oh no, I kind of had her in daycare, and sometimes when I worked on the weekends, I had my family help me. That's what it was. And my mom was like, I'm too busy. I cannot do it on the weekends. And so I had to find a job where I could work 9 to 5. I could work like banker hours. I could work daycare hours, because otherwise I have to pay a full-time rate, and yet she wasn't there full-time because I was working weekends. I was working at Kmart I started as a teller, not a teller, I started as a cashier, went to layaway, went home improvement manager, when I ended there, I was a merchandiser. So I would go on the floor, and I had certain departments, and I would order merchandise to fill those. And I'd do new layouts, and it was a fun and interesting job, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't making very much money. And 2, I needed something with with daycare hours. So I took a leap of faith, because I never in my wildest dreams thought that I could become a banker, because I failed math. I absolutely sucked at math. I got all the way up to pre-algebra. I got up to pre-algebra, and that was so hard. And so I didn't think I was going to get it, but I thought I'm going to give it a whirl. So I apply, and I get this job as a teller. And I'm like, this manager, branch manager, she took a chance on me. Like, I don't know, she saw something in me she liked, but I probably, in the interview, like, I didn't make any, I don't know if I made any sense. Maybe I did. Something made her want to hire me. So she hires me, and through banking in 21 years, I did a ton of stuff. You know, I became a loan officer, then I became an assistant manager, then I became a loan office, like an underwriter. So the branches would send me the loans, and I would underwrite them and send them out approvals for their clients and members. I was a business banker. I was an assistant manager, and then became a manager. So I did a lot of things in banking, and here I went into that industry thinking, God, I really hope I can get this job. And I was so grateful. Oh my gosh, because I got like 30 cents more an hour than what I was getting at Kmart. 30 cents more an hour. Can you believe that? I was so grateful. But I was just grateful, I don't know, that I had a job. So, but it wasn't really getting me anywhere. Like, I was barely getting by. So I remember, you know, I have Chelsea. She's in daycare. I was getting kind of some help from the state. They weaned me off, which was awesome. And then I learned all these great things. So I loved it. And Chelsea was in a great daycare, and it all worked out. But my point in telling you that part was, after all that time though, I learned a lot of knowledge. I learned a lot. But when I left, I don't have anything. I'm not still getting paid from the bank. I have experience and gratification and relationships, but oh, hi. But I left the bank. I didn't have any reoccurring income. Okay. So I just wanted to take a moment and appreciate those people that have a side hustle. So why I have a side hustle now. We're okay. But again, every day it starts over. Every single day. And if anything happens, so my husband loses his business, and it was devastating. And so he goes on the road, and I'm just like, we don't have him. He's gone all the time. And I remember having someone tell me, because prior to me doing a side hustle, I had, I had people throughout my time at the bank where people would say, why, come to this Pampered Chef party, or come to this and come to that. And I was thinking, is this a hobby? Like, I wanted to go I worked all day. So by the time I got home, I get to feed Chelsea and, the kids, Gavin at the time. And then, but in the beginning it wasn't her, but him. So I had to take care of the kids, clean up the house, do all the things that are responsible, make sure they bathe and they've done their homework and all these things. And so to go to a party after work, after doing all that, I was like, no, I'm not going to a party. I appreciate that you're doing that. I don't understand it. Because I just wanted to pay my bills. So I looked at it different. I looked at it like, here I am, I'm just gonna, it's like this hamster wheel, right? So I'm going, and every month I just kept going back to the bank, or just to get that paycheck, and in exchange, I could pay those bills. But I had nothing, no extra. So that's kind of that hamster wheel idea. And so that's one of the truths I want to explain, is that it was a lack of knowledge on my part to understand why do you have a side hustle? I didn't ask enough questions. I was just in survival mode. Can we pay our bills? That's all I pray for. And can I see my husband more? And then I'm married, and you just want to be able to pay your bills, but I want him home. So anyway, I just want to squash the negative stigma that goes along with, I knew this could happen. I'm doing a live, honey, that I wanted to do earlier, but then I went on that road trip. So I get to do it now because I'm committed and I'm showing up. All right, so I just want to get rid of that negative stigma, because I think most people think it's just a hobby for people. Or the people that are in it, they quit too early. But they don't realize, if someone went to college. So if you're in this Facebook Live, I just want you to tell me if you know anyone that has went to college and spent, say, $10,000 to $40,000, okay? They spent, say, 4 years to get a bachelor's degree in a trade, to make a annual salary of $60,000 a year, let's say that, okay? So they spend all that money. Now they have let's just say, supposedly, that they have a student loan now, and that student loan has interest that's been accruing, that's been compounding on top of that student loan. And they're going to graduate, and they're going to barely get by because of the student loan their home or or whatever the situation is. But that student loan goes on for a long time, okay? Some people get through, this happened to so many people that I know. So they spend all this money. I'm going to tell you a story, it's going to blow your mind. They spend all this money. They find out that the job that they went to school for will only pay them a certain amount, which is less than what they're currently making. So they stay at that job. Now they have a student loan and they have a job that they're in a hamster wheel situation. Or they just don't even do that trade and they are, I guess they had a good social life. I'm sure they learned how to write. They learned something about that trade, but where are they applying it? I guess some of the maybe courses or classes that they took, they can use throughout most careers, most industries, but to spend all that money to do that, well, you can get the experience anywhere, really. So that's another reason why I want to squash this, because I had to tell you that part, because a lot of people will get into this without the experience, without the college degree, and they expect to make, because people give them that perception that, hey, you're going to get in and you're going to make thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in 90 days, in a year, whatever it is. It's not, for the average person, like that's not really going to happen. But as you do it, and see, you're making money as you're learning, to me it's better. I'm okay, I'm not going to say better because I might offend someone, and I don't mean it that way. What I mean is, I just see it as a good thing. Because really, let's just say, in all these side hustles, they all have great products and services that folks are out in the stores purchasing anyway, right? Maybe it's a service. I know that there are some that are utility companies, and you're paying utilities anyway. So you mean to tell me I could get 5 friends that see the value too, and they could do it with me? I'm already spending the money on the utilities, or the makeup, or the Forex trading, or the health, maybe protein shakes, or whatever it is, right? So I'm buying those things anyway, but I could help my friend, and I'm not telling you how, I'm just giving you an idea of how this works. I can get 5 friends to do that, and they all know 5 people. I mean, it's so simple, but people get caught up in their own mind. They prejudge. I did that today. I prejudged. I can't remember what it was. Oh, my daughter. So Mike couldn't go to the Def Leppard concert, so we didn't go. But my daughter did a Facebook Live, which I missed yesterday, and she said, "Oh, I watched it today. My mom's going to Def Leppard in Salt Lake City, and I'm kind of internally like hoping that I could get in with her." Well, I prejudged. Mike said, "Call Chelsea, see if she can go." But I didn't. You know why? Because I thought, she's from a different generation. She's not going to want to go Def Leppard. We do that. We sabotage our own success so many times because we're thinking, oh, that person won't want to do this or that. And we don't know their situations. We don't know what they're battling at night. We don't know what they're worrying about because everybody wants to put on this great front. So that's kind of I used to be that person. I used to go, I don't understand why you're doing this. Maybe it's just a hobby. But I didn't ask either. I was just in survival mode. Like, I just need to pay my bills and I'm exhausted at night. And it's not that I don't love you and it's not that I don't want to I'd buy a couple things, but I just couldn't commit to something like that. But I didn't know enough either. I just didn't even ask, and they didn't really ask me, but I didn't really understand it. But now that I understand it, it blows me away to a couple of things, okay? One, that people give up because they thought they were going to make money in 60 days or 90 days. And you can, and it's easy if you do a couple of simple things. But they think they're going to be a millionaire in that time. That's just not going to happen. It's like, you got to go to school to learn a trade. and you're going to spend money, you're going to spend $40,000, let's just say $40,000 on a degree, and you're going to spend that time and then go out and hopefully you have something. Well, what if you bought the products that you were already buying and you were able to make money by sharing them with others, and you're learning a trade? To me, it's just like, because honestly, guys, like, to me, sales is, everyone is in sales. Like, anywhere I go, I've got to sell someone on something, and it's not necessarily an item. If I go to an interview, I got to sell myself that I'm right for that position. So we all need to know sales. Like, sales is a terrible thought that you hate salespeople or that sales is bad. Sales is awesome. And one day, I believe, people are going to say, you got to be finding yourself a good salesman. Because there's salespeople out there that are good, and they make more than doctors, engineers, you name, I mean, salespeople can kill it. But you got to put in some time, and it's going to suck, and you got to get uncomfortable, and you got to not prejudge and not self-sabotage your anything we do. We're like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do this. We talk ourselves out of it. It's all of that is self-sabotage. So I want to squash that whole negative stigma, because I am over it, because I'm more knowledgeable. I'm hoping to share what I understand now with people, because I can't sit with everyone individually. So I get to use this platform. And I love that I get to do that. And it's kind of weird because you're staring at yourself and you don't really see the internet. You don't see who's behind there. You can maybe see their face, but they come and go. But it's just so weird. But I know it's happening. I know it's live. And I know that someone might see it later. And I might, if it helps one person, it's worth it to me, because I don't want people to be stuck. Like, I was in, it's just not a good place. We just need to empower ourselves to learn more and ask questions and not like criticize others for doing things. Because honestly, you're going to a grocery store and they're marketing the product to you. So why is it bad if someone else is doing it? Because it might be direct sales, or it might be MLM, or it might be, how many of you, okay, when I used to go to my grandma's house in Bountiful, she's passed away now, but she always had a Avon book sitting on her on the coffee table. That's what this is. This is not MLM. This is direct sales. It's like, I have a beauty book. And my health business that I have is direct sales. It's like the Avon. So you have a variety of products and services in both, and you share them with people that may have a need for it. If they get it, great. If they don't, they don't. You know, whatever. But you get an opportunity to buy it at wholesale, same as the grocery store or any other makeup store or any other health food store, and then you buy it at wholesale, you get to sell it at retail. Now, if that person says, hey, I really like that, can I buy it at wholesale? You sure can. They fill out a little application. No monthly requirements, because it's not MLM, it's direct sales. No monthly minimums. No, they can buy the product when they want, when they feel like it, and they can just take advantage of a discount. Or if they want to build a business, they can take it to the next level. Or if they want to really get crazy with it, they can become a millionaire, multi-millionaires. Okay, that's those that stick with it, and those that learn the trade, learn how to get good at it, just like as if you were to go to college and learn. So I was going to tell you a story about a couple. So I went to a training, and there was this room full of people. I think we probably had 400 people in the room. And the speaker said, how many of you have spent $10,000 to $40,000 in college? So all these people stand up. How many have spent 50 to, I don't remember, 80? More people stand up. And the other people are still standing. How many have spent it got all the way up to one lady had spent $400,000. 400. And he said, now, how many of you are using that trade that you went to college for? Let's see. How many of you are using the degree that you went to school for? You stay standing. Whew. All of these people in the room sat. And I looked around and I was like, even the lady with the $400,000, she spent $400,000 and she is not doing that trade? And here she is gonna do direct sales? And I was like, wow. There was, people from all walks of life, doctors, lawyers, 2 lawyers, they each spent $200,000. They're doing this because they cannot even see beyond their debt because of those student loans and their additional debt from their families. From their family and their debt, and you know how that goes. We all have a lot. And I don't know if you understand inflation, but I learned that in the banking, okay? That is where all the prices for fuel, for everything, all the commodities, everything that we are purchasing, right? It's all going up. That's inflation. But the money that we're earning and the money that we earn in interest, or we're earning from a job, that is not meeting the rate of inflation. So what does that mean for us? Like, we have to have a side hustle, or we're going to work 200 hours a week. I can't do that, or 2 weeks. I don't know how many, but like, that was why my husband was on the road so much. He had to work so many hours just to make ends meet for us. So I went back to the bank. I helped him with the business. I did a side gig. I'm doing a side gig as well. Like, I was everywhere. Talk about hot mess. Like, just trying to stay afloat mentally. I was trying to cook dinner, but I wasn't doing a great job. Like, Gavin would eat Hot Pockets. I was mentally exhausted. And some days I am here, but it's not as bad. But now my husband, I get to sleep in the same bed with him. I can't even tell you guys how grateful I am for that. And I pray that we're never in that same boat again. But every single month, it starts over for him. That's stress. Because when you're in car sales or any, that kind of sales where it's basically a job. Okay, so every month, so he has a great month and he shines, but it starts over the next day, first day of the month. Boom. You gotta grind. Hopefully I do that again. So that's the stress of the job. And if you're on a salary, you're capped, usually. So you don't want to be capped because how do you get ahead? And so people just got to understand this. And if I'm hoping to actually relay it so that it's more understandable and it's more honorable. People that are trying hard and that have a side hustle, never make fun of them. Because I come here on live just to show up. Because I'm not perfect yet. And even when I'll never be perfect, actually. I might get better, but I'll never be perfect. But I'm showing up every day, hoping to become more. Hoping to do better at what I'm doing. So, it's consistency. And the reason I love it is because if you guys understand recurring income, passive income, there is nothing like it. It's for those of you that don't understand what recurring income is, just please bear with me, okay? If you understand recurring income, type a 1 in the comments right now. Do you understand recurring income? Because I'm curious how many people understand passive, residual. There's different terms of it. reoccurring income, regardless if you work or not. Let me explain what that means. There's a gal in Utah that she's in her 20s, maybe late 20s. She makes about $249,000 a month, okay? A month. In her 20s. She could be in her early 30s, but I think she's in her mid to late 20s. Her husband is now helping her because she is doing so much and she's so busy that her husband doesn't even have to work. He's with her, but she gets that money regardless if she works or not. Because she spent time, she learned how to do this, and she opened her mouth. And she said, hey, I have something that you might love. And shared it. And enough people have said yes. And she's not like over the top. She's actually like an introvert. But on social media, she portrays herself different. And so it's easier for some people to communicate with other people on social media than it is in person. It's less intimidating. So she's done very well with that and that's where most of she's on a global level. And those people are working and she's getting a percentage of what they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make it a pyramid. Let me explain that too, because there's a misconception I want to squash again. The reason this is not a pyramid, let's talk about the dealership, because I don't know, it's just close. Or any business. Let's talk about when I worked at Kmart. Okay, there was a store manager. He was at the top. No one made as much as the store manager. Then he had assistant managers below him. There was 2 assistant managers. They might have made the same. One might have made a little bit more if his areas were performing better, but they were pretty close to the same. And then you have managers, and they're about the same. Some might be getting paid more because they're better performers. And then so on and so on and so on until that is the same. I mean, if you don't see that, okay, this is passionate, Tina. Okay, I had to forewarn you in the beginning of this, but I get excited about it because I cannot tell you how many times, and I've gotten to where I go, oh, you mean like this place that you work at? Okay, the owner of the dealership, he's up here. No one makes what the owner makes. Okay, then you have a GM, and you have sales managers, and you have salesmen, and you have finance. It's like this, guys. It's the same. Network marketing, direct sales, MLM, they are not pyramids. Now, let me tell you what the definition of a pyramid is. It's when there's no products or services given. So someone is putting up money towards something, but there's no services and they're not getting anything, okay? I'm going to show you this, a tangible product, okay? That excludes pyramid out of it. So let's squash that. We're uncovering the truths. This is not a pyramid. This is honorable. I cannot stress that enough. This is so honorable. I have so much respect for people that have side hustles. The utmost respect, because I know they're doing it because they're trying to really get their family into a better position. Because they're not satisfied with where they're at. There's something wrong. They're struggling. There's been a big impact in their life, or just personally, they want to grow. Or they could be doing it just because it was a product that they were buying anyway, and their friend showed them a better product, and they said, yeah, I want to sign up because I'm buying it anyway, and I'll tell some people. So we're squashing all those negative stigmas, okay? This live is purely to share my beliefs, okay? You may walk away from this live and go, nut job, that's fine. But I know the truth. I own my truth. And I get it, guys. Like, if you were there, giving it a bad stigma or looking down at people that are doing what I'm doing, I get it. I didn't understand either. But once you do understand, that's when you got to hopefully change that mindset. Hopefully it changes for you, because what a bad place to be if we're just like always going to just be living with all these misconceptions and not wanting to learn. Tell me more about what you do. Why are you doing that? It's important to know these things, especially for our family and friends. And the ones that, if you are doing one and you're in my group, I commend you. And if, I just want you to know that if people leave your group, friends or family, because they don't like what you're doing, you're making them feel uncomfortable, because they feel like this pressure, like, oh my gosh, are they going to ask me to do something here? Like, no, we want support. We want you to know what we do, why we love it, and that's why we invite you. So, if people don't understand that and they leave your group, let them go. Like, and don't even feel bad, because you don't need that negativity in your life. Like, you can love them from afar. They just don't understand. I was there, so I totally get it. So just love them from afar. So let's see. I wrote some notes because I tend to, my mind just is like this sometimes, and I just lose where I'm at, and I might jump around. jump around. All right. I told you I get delirious at night. Don't judge. I just want to make sure I catch everyone. What are you guys doing? Are you up this late? I'm normally not. Normally I'm packing my clothing up, my gym clothes, and I put them in a special spot. Like, I have a routine I do every night. Brush my teeth, wash my face. And I just wind down. Hopefully I get to chat with my hubby before he goes to bed. So that's what we do. We talk about our day. How was it? Unless he passes out. Last night he was out before I could even talk to him. That's pretty much it. Like, I wanted to know I just wanted to squash, really, I just want to squash negative stigma about what this side hustle thing is, or what anyone's side hustle is. Like, I honor you, because it is hard to work a full-time job and to do it on the weekends. I'm going to tell you one more story, and then I'll go. So I go to this event in Salt Lake 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3. Could have been 3. And this lady, she spoke to me. I was like, oh my gosh, that was totally me. So she was working at an insurance company, and the insurance company, every year you get a raise, right? Tell me what your raises are at these days. But when I worked at the bank, my best raise was 14%, and I got it from the president of the bank, which everyone hated him, but or credit union, but he was so good to me. But normally it was like 6 to 8% every year, okay? But towards the end, like, those raises are going closer to like 2%. You'll have to tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know what the raises are really right now, but I think they're lower end now, like 2%. Like, how are you going to catch up with inflation at that rate? So anyway, she could see she's in a dead end spot. She was exhausted at night. She had friends doing parties. She didn't want to go to parties, and her friend, I did post this on one of my pages, and I don't know if you read it or not, but she said, her friend was like, come on, Jamie, you need this. Girls' night, come and have some wine and pizza, and come have fun with us. So she was like, oh, wine and pizza? That sounds good. That's the only thing she's thinking of. Okay, yeah, a night out, I probably could use that, and then the wine and pizza sounds awesome. So she goes to have wine and pizza. She watches this lady pull up in a white Mercedes carrying her like little makeup bag, like rolling it in. And she's like, oh, how cute. Her husband bought her that Mercedes. Come to find out, she learns, no, that lady worked and earned that Mercedes. And so she was like all open ears, okay? Because she was like thinking, my life is not changing. Like I want to be, personally, I want to be further ahead in whatever I'm doing and personal growth. I want to be further ahead in 3 years, okay? So when you're working, when you're in this hamster wheel, you're doing the same routine every day after every day, and you don't see an end in sight. You don't see, how do you get ahead enough to be able to retire one day, to be able to get out of debt? Like, how do you do that? I'd like to know. So, unless you're an artist and you can write a CD, or you write a book, and then you get reoccurring income. That's income that comes in regardless if you're sleeping or not. Like, how would you like to wake up and like get all this volume and you're gonna get paid more money, right? And you didn't do anything. Like, it's everyone's helping each other. It's a different way of living, okay? It's a different way of making money. And it's, to me, now that I know it the way I know it, it's a no-brainer. Especially if you're purchasing these products, because most of the time you're gonna find better products and services within a direct sales company because they just are. Scientists are putting them together. They do all their magic. It's not governed by the FDA usually, and they're the ones that kind of, you know, I don't know. Maybe you're one that just says, oh, I only want FDA stuff. But it's kind of like more natural stuff that's better for our body. I guess it's better to say it that way. We can't make any medical claims. We can't say any of this stuff, but they are great products. And they're better for us. I will say that. It's my opinion. Anyone out there in the world, this is my opinion, okay? So, anyway, see, it's late and I already forgot where I was going with that. Oh, so what she did, this is the crazy part. So the next day, she leaves there in her mind. She goes to work. She took her kids to work and school and all that. And she's at work at this insurance company. And she's like, she just keeps thinking about everything she learned. And she keeps thinking about the makeup. And then she's going, So she calls up her friend and she says, hi, I want to get started. Where do I start? Because she knew she's on a hamster wheel. Like, she's not getting ahead. So the only way for us to get ahead or for something to change is we have to change. Change is an action word. We have to do something. It can't just be it's not going to land in our lap. I mean, and I don't want it to. Like, I'm having a blast. But, I mean, granted, it would be awesome. Okay, I could invest in some things. I could do some things ahead of time. But it's not necessarily, like, going to happen for us. So, I just want to share that story because now that lady, she just does so well financially. You know, she went to her school, her high school, her kids' high school. And they were saying, we need to have this dance because everyone gets more involved when we have this dance. But we need $200. Can everyone put in, all these moms, all these parents, okay? Can everyone put in $35 towards this? Can anyone chip in? We need to have this dance. It's going to be $200. And she's sitting back in the room and looking at all these parents and going, is anyone going to raise their freaking hand? Like, put up the $200 so the kids can have a successful whatever it was. And so no one did. And so she was like, I got you. $200. I'll take care of it. These kids need to have it. But everyone is scraping by. I hope you guys get that. Like, people are scraping by. People need this more than they want to admit it. So we're squashing. This live was all about squashing. Okay, you saw Passionate Tina. That was another thing. Sometimes I'm a little more quiet and just like really soft-spoken and that. But I have a fire. I have a burning desire within me to help more people, because I have been at the lowest of lows, and I'm a fighter, and I'm going to go out and help people and show them how they can win. And when I say win, it's not a negative thing. It means get more confidence. It means start obtaining the things that they desire in life. That to me is they're being blessed. Okay, maybe that's a better term and you'll appreciate that one more, but either way, you get me. Hopefully you get me. So, yeah, that was a really cool story to hear, and I loved it. And so we squashed all of that. I hope you guys have an awesome night. I feel so much better after getting this off my chest. I've been thinking about it on this drive that I was on. It was beautiful and peaceful, and I could just think, and I wanted to share that with you. So hope you guys have an awesome evening. I hope you sleep well. I hope I do. Sometimes I get a little fired up, and then I'm like, oh, I can't sleep. I'll be able to sleep. I'll take some Sol. It winds me down. What else, Gavin? How was your day?
No, I just want to eat.
Oh, he wants to eat. So I will shut this down. But anyway, say hi, comment or whatever, and then I want to put out a drawing for a free gift. One of you are going to get a free gift. Love you guys. You're awesome. Have a great night. Bye.